About 10 days ago, I made a video on how investors are selling Tesla stock at the worst possible time. Some of these guys that sold the stock, the next couple of weeks, a month, the stock went up 50%. Other big names like Gary Black and other names sold stock because of fundamental reasons. I went down into details why it was not a good idea to sell. And now a lot of investors are selling, long-term investors now are selling Tesla stock for other reasons, aka the main thing is the Elon and Trump feud, that whole situation. That's the main reason of selling. And now I'm here to tell you guys that it's just so stupid selling it because of this reason. And I'll be going into details in this video why it's stupid to sell because of Trump and Elon going at each other. I'll be honest, when this was going on, I think this was staged. It was fishy. See, it didn't look real because Elon and Trump had a special kind of romance. Now, here's the thing. I knew that at some point they would be parting ways, but not the way that it went down. The way it went down seemed like it was very childish first, like taking jabs at each other, Elon calling him Epstein. Again, I was covering this live with Joe. You guys can check that live here. It was an insane live. I'm still stunned of it. But the reality is, it looks like this is actually real. It looks like it's actually real. I mean, I'm still on the fence, but it looks like it's actually real. But the reason the panic is there, that everyone is selling the stock, is so stupid. And I'm going to go through this video. Why? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, because it's going to get flippin' juicy. So let's get to the meat of this. Let's just get down to it. I wrote it on X, going in my deep thoughts and just writing it there. If you guys aren't following me on X, then I don't know what you guys are doing. But I wrote here saying that I'm seeing a lot of long-term Tesla investors selling their stock due to the Elon Trump situation, and I think it's a mistake. Really, I think it's just stupid. But to be nice, I wrote, I think it's a mistake. And just like with every other panic and fear when it comes to Tesla and Elon, it always ends up being a buying opportunity in the long term. Now, I'm pretty sure right now everything's a bit messy. It's hard to see that. I get it. But if you're a long-term investor, you should know this. But long-term investors are selling this. It's crazy. And I get it. Stock's been flat for 4 or 5 years. Some people are running out of patience. But you have to understand, Robotaxi launches literally in a few days. Optimus is in launch, rollout is in 12 to 18 months. Things are coming. You want to sell right before the launch of AI products. Are you kidding me? Not the time to do it. This is why I think it's stupid. But I go into details here saying that the main reason for these long-term investors in selling Tesla stock is that it changes, at their point of view, Tesla's fundamentals, which I don't see that happening, but this is what they think. If Trump decides to target Elon and his companies exclusively, the reality is that if Trump or the administration does that, they're essentially targeting everyone and not just Tesla. You can't make a rule law exception targeting a specific company in a democracy, in a free market. It doesn't work and it can't work. Think about it, guys. If you're Trump, right? And by the way, I gotta hand it to Trump. Trump did handle this at the end very well, saying that I wish the best for him. He did say some things that he shouldn't have said, and of course Elon said some things that he shouldn't have said either. We see Elon deleting, comments and stuff like that, which is the good thing. And Elon saying things like cool to JD Vance, saying that, hey man, you guys should calm down and just come talk, and everything's good. Just relax, guys, right? So we're seeing these happening. Things are looking okay. It looks like they're both cooling down. They're both cooling off. And it's not a personal thing. Of course, there were some personal attacks here and there, but this is all because of the big, beautiful bill, right? Anyway, this is not a target against one another personally. I just don't see it that way. And I think Trump knows this. Elon knows this. Again, unless it's staged, but I don't know. Let's continue. But you simply can't just come out and say that, hey guys, when it comes to autonomous driving, everyone can proceed forward except for Tesla. Or when it comes to rockets, NASA, you can do this, and other rocket companies in the US can do it except for SpaceX can't do it. It's just not possible. You can't do that in a free market, in a democracy like this. I go more into details, and I say this in the third paragraph, saying that this is the main fear for everyone selling Tesla. The fear of slapping hard by going after his companies. You want to limit SpaceX? China wins. You want to limit Tesla? China wins. You want to slow down robotaxis? You slow down everyone. Go against your own slogan of free market and slow down innovation in the US? China wins here again. And here's the thing, guys. China is not like decades away from taking over the US in terms of GDP and growth and innovation. They are there. Like, they're on the tail of the US. Any hiccups, whether it's 1 year or 2 years, 3 years, it has a ripple effect, guys, right? You're essentially giving China not the silver platter, but the gold platter. Like, here, just take it. Be number one. Be the best. Be the innovation of this. Because the Chinese are there. If it wasn't for SpaceX when it comes to rocket technology and rockets, China would be number one. If it wasn't for EVs, oh my God. Could you guys imagine if Tesla never existed? The Chinese EVs are eating everyone's lunch and dinner. It's crazy out there. And if Tesla didn't come out, if Elon didn't come and push Tesla, Chinese would be number one in there too. And many other things, and so on and so forth. So in order for the US to progress, to be more innovative, and to continue to be number one, you can't slow someone like Elon Musk down. You can't slow his companies down. The guy thought ahead way too far, and everyone is seeing it. And everyone's feeling it. If you want to stop Elon's companies, the US is going to be number two. China's going to win. And we know how bad this administration doesn't want that to happen. This is why I say the fear is baseless and just emotional, and the perfect opportunity for me to buy more Tesla stock. In a year or two, we will look back and say what an opportunity it was. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Your fear is my alpha. Bring on the dips. Now, here's the thing. A lot of you guys agree with me here, but some of you guys are thinking that, wait, there may be something else going on here. Tony here, shout out to you, my man. Don't underestimate the power of government to screw things up. Suppose they come out with a regulation that says all autonomous cars are required to use LiDAR, and suppose they tax the hell out of humanoid robots. They can very well do that. And I replied here saying that true, but the US government knows better. I hope they know better. Being number one in the world in terms of GDP, capital, brains, the government is doing something right? I think so too. But on the thought of making a regulation for all autonomous cars to use LiDAR is absolutely dumb. It's just stupid. It doesn't make sense. I wrote here that if they come out and say LiDAR is required for all autonomous cars, then they are dumber than a sack of peanuts. Data shows that neural nets and vision are much safer than using LiDAR with 1 million different sensors and cameras. Picking LiDAR over this would be beyond stupid. Have you guys seen those Waymo videos? Waymo keeps going in circles and circles and circles, going through weird things and just malfunctioning really quick. I mean, and it's geofenced. How is this safer than Tesla's FSD? I mean, you don't see Tesla's FSD or full self-driving or their technology of solving AI or full self-driving in this case like that. It doesn't bug out like that. So that's why when you look at the data, it's much more safer than what LiDAR is doing. It just doesn't make sense for the US government to come and say that only to get Elon's company or his Tesla not to proceed on a federal level. It's just doesn't make any sense. And taxing humanoid robots will happen, in my opinion. I do believe that. But that's how we will get universal income. Because if this thing's going to go around and, take people's jobs, well, I'm sure universal income is on the way. So really, when you think about it for a second, right, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. And I also wrote it here that make America great again, which is Trump's slogan, mega, right? But slow down the most innovative companies in the US. Come on, guys. Let's think for a second. The fear and panic are baseless. It really is. And thank you. This is a good buy opportunity for me. Now, when it comes to Elon and Trump, right? Elon's talking about a third party. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's just putting more pressure to the Republicans to bring down, the spending of this. But at the end of the day, politics is politics. You could have a third party. Who do you want to run this third party? It has to be politics. It can't be people like Elon Musk running it. It just can't. I just don't see it. It doesn't make sense. So it doesn't matter which party it is. Now, I do like the Trump administration. They have ended a lot of wokeness stuff in the US. They have, secured their borders, right? They have done a lot. Common sense is back. Something that I wish Canada would have right now. But they're doing the right thing. It's just now this overspending thing, this GDP stuff, this, going more into deficit. That's the issue that Elon has here. But this is out of Elon's control. He can't really do much here. And him losing focus and focusing on making another third party in the US sounds very unrealistic to me. Now, again, if Elon thinks he needs to do it, he will do it. But is it a good idea? I don't know. I'm not a guy that wants to get too much into politics, but apparently when you're all in a Tesla and you talk about Elon, you get naturally you get into it. You can't really avoid it. But I don't think that's going to happen. In fact, what I think is going to happen is, well, we see Elon and Trump cooling off. They're not attacking each other. Trump's approach to this at the end was actually pretty nice. It wasn't vicious. I think Trump loves Elon. Here's the thing. And Elon likes Trump. They like each other. They really do. I mean, Elon went above and beyond to get Trump elected. And Trump knows this. And the guy gave him the key to the White House. You think he's going to hate this guy? Of course not. They don't hate each other. And it's not personal. It's all against this bill. This big, beautiful bill that Trump likes to call it. So it's all about this. That's it. I don't think it's going to get worse. And people who are selling the stock because of fundamental reasons is just stupid. Do you think this is going to matter in a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now? Heck, if you're truly a long-term investor, do you think this is going to matter in 2030? For crying out loud, we're seeing FSD, Tesla cars with FSD, driving in water, going through the road in water. It's insane. And we're selling because of Elon and Trump feud that is cooling off right now. That has nothing to do with Tesla. Because we're all afraid that Trump administration will slap Elon by slapping his companies, by coming up with stupid rules, dumb, unrealistic rules that all autonomous cars should have LiDAR. I don't know, man. This doesn't sound realistic to me. And when I sit back and look at it at a different angle, at a higher angle, you could say, this is just a big buying opportunity. I mean, the stock on Friday went back above $300 per share. And I do think next week is going to be green again. I really do think so. Now, robotaxi event, when that comes, I think they will be sell the news event. I do, until numbers come in. Maybe the Elon feud, if it's still going on until, let's say, October, September, maybe that'll impact the stock as well for some time. But then once numbers start to come in, once the scalability of robotaxis come in, again, there's not going to be any dumb rules like all cars must have LiDAR. I just don't see that happening. I give that a 0.069% chance of that happening. The possibility is never zero. That's always a fact. But realistically, I don't see that happening at all. Again, stopping Elon, stopping Tesla, stopping SpaceX, you're handing the world to pretty much China. And this administration and the US and everybody in the US does not want that. So use your brain a little bit, calm down, don't let your emotions get in the way, and just look at it at a bigger picture. Things are looking a lot better than we do think. Selling right now is stupid. That's all I'm going to say. My opinion, not financial advice, but that's my opinion. But if you sold, if you guys bought below 300 in the 280s, 270s, give yourself a pat in the back. Sheesh. So I hope you guys have calmed down a little bit, not get too emotional. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know what you guys think. Why do you guys, maybe I'm seeing something that I'm not seeing. I'm not too sure. So comment down below. But guys, relax, calm down. Listen to this podcast between Tesla Boomer Mama or Alexandria Mers and I talking about Tesla, and just listen to us talk about common sense. You guys will enjoy. Subscribe, become our channel member, guys. And I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.